This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, welcome to the Business Intelligence Training Program. Hi. In our previous session, we have seen details pertaining to Power BI. Just give it a minute. Power BI is opening. Okay. So in the previous session, we have seen details pertaining to data modeling and data part of Power BI. So today and tomorrow will be the last sessions of this training program, wherein you will be learning Power BI visualization. You have already learned the data part of it. So you'll be learning Power BI visualization. Once I complete Power BI desktop, I will also guide you through Power BI cloud. Okay, so let me log into Power BI cloud. app.powerbi.com. Login. So I have my domain. So let me try to log in into this. I think my trial will also get over with this session. I have to create a new trial ID. Yeah. So with this, even my trial for whatever I have now will end in 4 days. It's okay. So for now, there is no problem. We can continue to work on the trial version edition that I have of Power BI. Do you have any questions so far in today's session? I hope you can see my screen now. In today's session, we will see how to create different kinds of visualizations in Power BI. Once we are done with Power BI desktop, we will move on to Power BI cloud. And then Power BI for Excel. Okay, slowly we will do it. So the data part is already completed. Now I will target more on the visualization part from today and tomorrow. Do you have any questions for me so far? Okay, good. Now let me create a data model and then we will work on the visualization part of it. So let me first get the data. For that, I will click on get data. Let me connect to SQL Server. Let me add the database. Click on OK. Here, select the tables. I will select all relevant tables that I would need. Okay, so these are all the relevant tables that I would need. And I will click on load. I don't have any data to transform. I've already explained you how to use Power Query. You have any questions about Power Query? If you have to transform the data, you can do it outside on SQL Server or using Query or using Excel, CSV, any file format, or you can use Power Query within Power BI to do any type of a transformation. Wait for the data, the tables to get loaded. You can also include views, not only tables, okay? Okay, now the data is loaded. Let's wait for it. It is still loading. You see here. Give it some time. It is still loading. Click on the data model and leave it. Once it's loaded, automatically it will show up the data model. Okay, so the data model is now loaded. If there are more number of tables, it will take at least 2-3 minutes. Just wait for it. If it's a high-speed computer, it will just take a few seconds to load the data model. Now I've clicked on minimize layout, bottom right corner. So it has to minimize the layout now. Just give it a few minutes. Yeah, done. Okay. Always make sure you don't have any background processes running on your system because it can create some issue. It will generally slow the performance of Power BI. So make sure your antivirus, scan, etc. is not running. only required softwares are on. Okay, so now I have all the tables in place. I have employees table, order details, product details, customer table, shipper details, supplier details, category, region is separate. It's okay. Go to the data, check if the data is properly loaded. So particularly when you're loading data from a server, you should always check at least a few tables if the data is loaded as desired, as you want. Today's session, we will concentrate more on all the visualizations. So far, we have seen data models and data pan. Today's session, reports. The entire Power BI file is referred to as a report. I've already informed this to you. Okay. Each of the tabs are referred to as pages. You can have n number of pages per your choice. You can also delete, you can add again. There is no problem with that. You can delete, you can add how many ever pages you want, similar to your Excel workbook. Okay. Here you have the fields. It's a pane, P-A-N-E, pane, visualization pane, and then filter pane. Okay, so each of these are expandable and collapsible. If you want to see full view of your page in the report, you can collapse all of these or open up only those panes which are needed for your work. Now slowly we will start creating very good visuals. Like Tableau, here also we will start with table. Okay, the very first table you will have is different category names. Okay, so these are the different category names, and under order details, you have quantity and unit price. So you need sales column, the measure that is not there. So let me create a quick measure within order details to multiply quantity and order to create sales. So it is a multiplication mathematical function. What am I going to multiply? Quantity and unit price. Click OK. Now a new column is created, a measure. Okay, it's a number column. That's why we call it a measure. So let me rename this. This is called sales. Okay. So in this table, let us include sales. Right. So this is a table that gives information about category and sales. Okay. In Power BI, you don't have, in Power BI desktop, you don't have anything called a dashboard or a storyboard. You can drag it and place it however you want. Only in Power BI Cloud, you have something called dashboard. Okay. So here you do not have a dashboard. Whatever you do on the page, that itself is a dashboard view. Here you don't have to create a dashboard from different sheets and apply filters on each of the visuals. That's in Tableau. Here directly you create the visuals. You don't even have to set the filters. Automatically the filtering will happen. I'll show you how that is possible. The next, okay, let me take the ship. Oh, this is not okay. Ship country. Okay, so this is the shipping country. And let me also include the quantity that I'm going to ship. Okay, and this I want as a bar graph. I'm going to use each of the visuals that are available here. This is the visual. I have the entire information displayed here. Okay. Now, whichever visual you're going to make a change of, you can select that. So I'm selecting this visual. Okay, so you have three different options. One is default x-axis, y-axis, that is build visual. Next is format. Next is analysis. Okay, this is for statistics. Generally, most of the features of axis, legend, etc. will be in the first option, add data to your visual. Next is formatting the visual. So here, if you want to switch on the data label, here you don't have shortcut T as such in Tableau. Here, what you have to do is select data label. You have to switch the data label to on. Okay. So now you can see that when I have turned on the data label, automatically the labels are getting displayed here. Okay. So this is one such visual. In Tableau, you have a swap button. Here you don't have any such button. If you want to interchange, then you have to put the labels accordingly, move it here and move it there. Right? So this is one way of display. The other way of display will be a bar graph. Here, column-based chart. So this will occupy more space. If you put it horizontally, it occupies a lesser space and it also gives a good presentation of the data. This is how you can use a horizontal stacked bar chart. There is a vertical stacked bar chart. For that, see, whenever you select some information, any of the column here, automatically it will get plotted. By default, Power BI creates a visual of its choice. Okay. Now I have the shipping country. So if I want to know which is the product that is getting shipped, I would need the product names. But product names are a lot. Okay. So you have to choose the correct. You have tree map that can represent more number of dots, more number of products. So you can have this and you can also have the quantity that has been ordered. Okay, this is a lot more information. It can occupy a lot of space, but when you click on a particular country, it gets filtered and it shows only the relevant values. So if you think this is still not okay, you can choose an appropriate visual for it. Okay, this is the quantity. Now, when you filter it, it will show you only the relevant details. So if you still want the shipping country to be a part of it, you can also include that. Supposing I select Germany, only Germany related information gets displayed here. Okay, you can also increase the size of it to make it look even more legible. Any questions so far? So this is a standard table view. There is always don't click in the center. If you click in the center, it will get selected. So I'll make sure you click on top when you see this line. Selecting a visual is like this. The corners will get selected. I can also try. Matrix is not good. I'm not happy with this kind of a visual. So what I will do, I will go search for additional visuals. So here, when you click on these three dots, you have get more visuals. Click on that. If data is 50% of the work, visuals is another 50%. You must put it together to get the report ready. So here you can search for an appropriate visual. Okay, none of these are matching, so we will check for a table view. Just say table. Okay, so it filters out and it gives you different kinds of tables, standard table views that are available that you can use. You have a box whisker plot, calendar view, zebra BI tables, multiple axis chart. Okay. You have a table heat map. This can also be helpful. There are different kinds of bar charts that are available here. There's a waterfall chart. There are varied kinds of charts that you can try. But remember, you must know the volume of data that you're using before you can use any of these charts. Okay. I like cylindrical gauge. We will do that. Pareto is also good. Waterfall chart is also very presentable. Histogram, there's a chart here. Histogram we have seen in Tableau, if you all remember. Okay, so there are different kinds of charts that are available, but I have a lot of product. Yeah. There are a lot more. You can try using these charts. So slowly we will use it one by one in today's session. You'll be seeing a lot of visualization in today's session. Okay, don't worry. So here I'm using a table chart. So here also you have waterfall, but it is not appropriate, right? Because there's a lot of data here. See, if you move your mouse pointer next to the columns, it will also let you expand the columns, make the columns bigger. Okay. Columns are now expanded. You can expand this slightly. Yeah. So based on, I didn't set any of the filter options for any of these visuals. So based on whatever is the selection that I do here. Beverages, the total sales is this. I want to see what's happening there. Okay, now I have the category, I have the quantity ordered and which product. Okay, under beverages, what's been ordered more? Chai, Chang, some blah blah blah. I don't understand this. Okay, let's go to dairy products. Okay, so those are the products that they have ordered. Phyllo mix, it's something to do with food items. Meat, at least this is okay. Okay, something to do with mutton, Perth pastries, etc. Right, seems to be a different language. Seafood, crab. Okay. Now let me pull out the employee details. Who sold how much in this? So I would need employee ID, employee first name. Your entire report can have tables. No one is going to question you. I have many of my reports with tables. You can justify telling, yeah, this is how I want it. I want the filter and I want the data to be displayed. That's all is needed. Last name. Okay. And I would also need what is the quantity that they have achieved. So only based on that, I can give a promotion to that employee. So performance of the employee is also determined from this report. Okay, so let me expand this slowly. Observe how I'm doing it. You can expand it as much as you want. So if the data is very less, just have it smaller so that you can accommodate a pie chart there. So now in the Germany region, who has done what? In Brazil, who has done what? So particularly with, supposing I take Brazil. In Brazil, I'm worried about the meat product. Okay. So I remove this. It automatically comes back to normal. See, now it's selected. I select meat. This is what it is. And I select the meat product. How much is it in Brazil? I'm holding the control key. My first filter was Brazil. And I had to hold the control key and click meat poultry. So now you see Brazil is selected. There, the total quantity of meat related products that have been sold are 223. Who sold what is here. Come out of it. Now we want the highest quantity first. Okay. So here you have sort and descending. So it is now sorted and descending. Let us click on Brazil. You should first slowly create the visuals, filter, filter, filter. See if it is giving some meaning to your management group. That's the main point of creating visuals. If you ask, creating a dashboard in Tableau requires a lot of sheets, but creating a dashboard kind of a view in Power BI is very easy. You've been observing how quickly I'm able to do it, right? So under meat or poultry of the country Brazil, the highest performer is Stephen Buchanan. He has sold about 70. Okay, well and good, but what is the duration? When did the sales happen? So order date is what I would need. So let me go to the order date. The date by default, when you select like this, automatically all the parameters are included. The date hierarchy is created by Power BI. It breaks the date into year, quarter, month, and day. Okay. So if I take the year, it gets appended. Do you see here? It's getting appended. Month, which month, and which day. Day wise. Okay. So you can also change the first you can take the day, then the month, I take the day, month, and the year. So this is the hierarchy in which it appears. Spacing, you can adjust the spacing as per your need. Generally, reports will be a little compact. Adjust the sizing as much as you want. Give ample space. You have to be a little slow. If you're in a hurry, you can't do it. Slowly you have to make these selections. It's not very easy as like Tableau. Here you have to be little cautious about the precisions, how you move, how you select. So observe how I'm doing it. If you click somewhere, the data will get filtered. So these are all little sensitive to work with kind of tools. Okay. So now when I select Brazil, the data is filtered. I hold the control key and I make multiple selections of whatever I want. So this is the answer. So when I click outside, it automatically comes out. If you want to have it as a smaller visual, you can have it as a smaller visual. Back to Brazil, click whatever you want. Yeah, so this is how it is looking. So this much of spacing is enough for it. So Brazil, meat and poultry, total is 223 quantities have been sold. And when this has been sold in 1997, whichever year, irrespective of, okay. Now, this is not, already I have sorted the data based on the quantity. So the highest sales has been by Stephen Buchanan on 29th of August, 1997. Okay. So in this window, you have all these details available. Now you can click and come out. Now, I also need customer information here. Which customer placed the order? So that information is also needed. So let me select the customer ID. By default, it will show up as a table or a bar graph. Later on, you can change it to whichever visual you want. Today's session, we will work on all kinds of visualizations that are available in Power BI. That is the main aim, to cover most of the visualizations that are available in Power BI. Okay. Any questions so far? Good. So now I have the customer ID. After that gets loaded, I need the name of the customer. So here name of the customer could be the company name or contact name. So see if you don't select the visual, it will create another new visual. So when you have to append new columns to an existing visual, make sure you select the visual. If you're out like this in the blank white space and you have not selected any visual, when you try to click on any of these, a new visual will get added. So this is incorrect. Don't struggle with it. These are some of the hints that you must remember in Power BI. I have the habit of selecting the fields and then the visual. Some people also do this. They select the visual and then they add the fields. Vice versa. You can follow whichever method you want. But this is much more better, or it gives me a clarity when I create the visual in Power BI. Then I select the contact name. Okay. Then I need to know the quantity that has been sold and when it was sold. The date when it was ordered is the ordered date. Okay, so this is the customer related information. Now let me see how this goes. So you have to fill a report, adjust the sizing and fill the report as much as you can. So now I will go ahead and reduce the size of this and have it minimum. Okay. But this, I don't suggest having a smaller view. This has to be a bigger view only. So I can't help much with that. So what I can do is, let me move it to the corner and redesign my page. So the upper red line is to show you, see, you get red lines in the side and red lines on the top to show the alignment. It is aligned, all the other images are in the same range. That's the meaning of it. Okay. Now I have the customer information with me. What I can do is fit in here. Okay. So again, spacing is a problem. So get this to a normal spacing. This looks much better. This is called space management of your page. So you must manage the space correctly. Now this looks much neater. Okay. This is good, right? So now easily I can set this as my first filter. I hold the control key and I can click anywhere. Based on that, filtering of the other visuals happens. So this is 22 altogether. Buchanan has been the highest. Okay, so again, click and come out. Last selection, if you click, the filter will come out of the selection. It shows you the complete data. Now I have to sort this. Okay, so select these three dots, sort by. I want to sort by quantity. Okay, so the highest is on the top. Now back to my selections. Slowly, step by step, I'm improving my visual. That is the aim. So this is my visual after selection. Yeah. So now I can say who is the customer who has placed the highest order. Customer's name is Asia Cross. The visual should always be presentable. Avoid vertical and horizontal scrolls. Just avoid it as much as you can. Vertical scrolls are understandable. Okay, it's okay to have. So yeah, it is perfectly matching. If you see here, it's 223 everywhere. And then who sold? The customer who placed the order and the employee who sold the product. All the details are very well presented, come out. Okay, so based on year, now I'm creating a new visual. Be careful, click outside, a new visual, year, and I want the sales. Okay, so this has to be a pie chart. Okay, so now this legend is a little problematic. Let me go to format, and then the legend has to be at the bottom center. This looks much better. It's okay if you don't want that display, you want only the years, you can put it like this. A small, neat visual is what we want. Okay. So year-wise, sales performance of a country can also be analyzed. I select Brazil. It shows me year-wise what is the performance of Brazil. Select USA. I get the details. Now, when I select a country, if I want city level breakdown of that country, I create a new visual of it. So this is the city based. So automatically it's going to a map view, but I don't want a map view at present. I'm much interested in the data view. Okay, now my target is data. The next visual, I will show you the map. So now I will change this to a table and let me move this table to an appropriate position. So city-wise quantity and sales. You can have both the information. So this can be a chart or it can also be a table. We've seen a lot of table views, so let's have it as a chart. Okay. So now when I select Germany, it should show only Germany related information. But this is not a very good view. So It's not matching my need. So let me have this and this. So by doing so, I can accommodate both this information very easily. There's a slight spacing issue. I can adjust. Again, move it and give some space for the other visual. Okay, now I will have enough space for my visual. Hmm. Let me select a country. Yeah. So once the selection happens, it will look good. So I've selected Brazil. So this is the information I have. Supposing I make a selection of the category, it shows me the details. Everywhere it is matching. I didn't do anything. All I did is created a proper data model. I've directly imported the data from SQL Server. So you can connect to AWS, Oracle, Azure, anywhere, MySQL, and you should be able to achieve this. So this is the kind of information that they will be looking for. More than the charts, in my experience, they want the data. This is what is needed. So it is very, very clear who has performed what, which customer placed, which employee has obtained that order, all of the details, right? So employee wise, supposing I say, I need sales information or the total quantity sold information, okay, based on what? Based on the employee. So I go to the employee table and I get the first name, last name of the employee. Okay, so if you see here, first name and last name. So there is some problem. We need another column. So let us create a quick measure to concatenate the first name and last name to have full name. So select the kind of calculation you want. You don't have it here. So I have to only create a new column. It's not a measure. It's not a number field. It's a dimension. I'm concatenating first name and last name of the sales representative. So I'm going to create a new column here. So let me name this column as full name. And then I need to employee. You just first type the few alphabets. Automatically it shows you employees is a table, first name is the column. Select that and then concatenate with a space and I say last name. Okay, click on the tick mark or enter, either ways. Now it will create a new column. This is nothing but your DAX expression, one of the DAX expressions. So I have a full column here. Now let me remove this visual, redo the same thing. I need the employee name. Do you see this? I have the full name of the employee now. Power BI is easy in terms of all this except for rearranging the visuals. It is much easier in Tableau compared to Power BI. It has its own pros and cons. That is for sure. What is the quantity sold? What is the total sales number? This is at an employee level. So now when I select Brazil and I select meat and poultry and I select, so here, this also come out of it. You can save a lot of space on this visual. Take this visual and remove the first name and last name and slowly take the full name, drag it and drop it there. So automatically it will show up. Now what happens? You have a lot more space to fit in your data. So wherever needed, you can do such string concatenations and you can get a better result. So let me select Brazil, meat and poultry. Now what is the filter? So if you have to achieve the same thing in Excel, it's a little more complex. At present, it is not completely properly placed. It's okay. But for now, see if you're getting the desired result. Meat and poultry, yeah, numbers are all matching. And here you have the details. Okay, good. It is doing what I expected it to do. And now I want employee full name and sales, and I want it as per the year. Year wise, what is the achievement of this employee? That is another criteria that I'm going to look for. So if you put this in any other chart type, it can be a little more clumsy. Okay, so this is what it will have show like. Since you have a date, year, you can try a line chart. Okay, so you can extend this. You can have a nice line chart. Markers, displays, all that have to be formatted. So if I go to format, data label is on. Okay. Markers are off. You can switch on the markers, and you can also change the color of your marker. Okay, size of the marker can also be reduced. Make it legible. Type of marker is a dot. If you want to change, you can change it. So that's about a marker, about line. You can reduce the thickness of the line. We need a thin line. We don't need such a thick line. Okay. You can also change the pattern of line. One is square wave, another is sinusoidal wave. So if you want it to be represented as a square, you can put it as a square or like this. So if you think people will only understand this, leave it like this. Done. Now, sales by full name. So this is not correct. You go here. You have to change the details. Now we will select Brazil, meat and poultry, and this should give data filter. Okay, another issue, this is not sorted. So sort this based on quantity. Okay, done. Brazil, meat and poultry, 223 everywhere. Perfect. So it is all matching. You have the quantity and sales displayed here. So here you have the name and the sales. Supposing I again select Steve Buchan. So it is giving me only one data point. So to this, if I decide to add, come out of the selection, to this visual, if I decide to, I already have the year and the name. So let me remove the name. Now when I filter it, it should give me as per the name. So when I select it for Steve Buchanan, it is giving me the performance of this staff. In 1997, what was it? 98, what it is. So this is around 585 of sales, 2214. You can hold the control key and release it. What happens when you hold the control key is other filters will remain as is, only this filter will get released. So that's a clever way of analyzing different visuals on your report. Okay, so the only visual that we have not touched upon is the discount factor. So we have used quantity, sales, etc. Discount is not used here. So we have this full, as much as we can, we have filled this page. Okay. So in this, if you think, you also need the full name of the employee, but by mistake you have removed that, you can include that back. Okay. This is the full name. There is also a secondary y-axis. So if you decide that the full name can go to the secondary axis, you can do that. Supposing I want to know the discount, I don't need, discount is not my aim, but quantity, yes. I can also show the quantity that this person has sold, correct? So this is the y-axis. Now when I filter this and see, I filter this and then I filter this. So it is showing me this information. Everything is okay, but I'm not happy with this visual. So let me come out of it, select this visual, and I will convert this into a line and bar chart. So one can be a line, sales can be a line, and quantity sold can be another line. So it shows bar y-axis or column y-axis and line y-axis. Okay. So now when I filter, I can get a different view altogether. Hold the control key and filter as much as you want to see the analysis. But this is not very good because of the units. So release. Without holding control key, when you click, automatically it releases. $19.96, $97, $98. So remove those quantity. Sales is enough. And let us move back to a line graph. That was much better. The unit is a problem. I'm not happy with the units. So it is showing in billions. Yeah, because it is in billions. Yeah. So when I make the selections, it shows the appropriate details. This is the performance. So if you think, I am not holding any control key, so when I click on any of the filter, automatically all the filters will get removed if I'm not holding the control key. So these are all workarounds in Power BI because it's free of cost. It's not like Tableau. Small workarounds, but you get it free of cost. So this is giving you a breakup of what the employee is doing. Okay. So here you have all the information. Y-axis Automatically the range is determined. If you want to give manual y-axis values, you can also set that. Title is on. If I turn it off, it will not show the title, y-axis title. Same thing with the x-axis, title on and off. So it's understood here, so I don't need, I remove the title there. Secondary y-axis. General, you have a title here, sales by year. So if you want to change this to employee sales, you can change it here. Also, you can reduce the size. Heading 3, heading 4. Reduce the size per your need. Okay. General, title is there, properties, height of this entire chart. That's the meaning of it. Properties you have, other advanced options you can check. I'm telling you the most generic ones. It's all trial and error. You play around with it. You want to give a border to this chart, you can set the border. So the chart gets a border. Turn off if it's a shadow for the chart. Header icons. If you want to give some icon to the header, you can use that. So those are general settings. You want more options, you can choose that. That we have already seen under settings. Okay. So this is one way of creating a visual. With whatever is the kind of data that I have, I've created this visual. Now I can save this visual. Okay. So over here, let me save this with today's date. Visuals. So the primary area that we concentrate is on the visuals here. I'm going to click on save. say seafood. Now I have the relevant information all sorted and descending, giving me the highest value. So here is the employee. Select this. This is the performance of the employee. So the performance is not good in 1998. There is a drop. How much it has dropped? From 7,000 and odd to 465. Why it has happened? You have to analyze. Employee's performance has dropped. Okay, then go ahead and check if the sales has dropped. Yes, sales has dropped a lot. So if you see here, it was in 0.7 and here it's 0.3. Almost 60% of the sales is lost, so you can't blame the employee. 1996, it was 0.09, then it was good, then it's not, it's decreased. Okay. So this is a kind of visualization I can create with data that I have directly connected to SQL Server. Okay. Let me show you another sample which I've shown to other candidates in the training. Save your work always. Otherwise, there's a possibility when you open multiple files, you may lose the data. I have another nice database called Contoso Sales. Let us see if that works. See, it is all about the data that you use. Based on the data that you have, now I have shown you the basic chart types. Next, we will try to use all advanced chart types. Okay, this is a nice visualization. I have used simple Excel to create this visual. Right? We will try to create a similar visualization. Let me open another instance of Power BI, and import Excel data into it. Okay, so let me now import the Excel data into this report. Open the Excel file. Select the sheet, orders. The sheet is sufficient for me. Let me take the sheets and load it. Okay, let the data get loaded. We will try to replicate the same report here using different visuals. Now the data model, wait for it to get loaded. Okay. Be slow with it. Okay. Now let us reproduce the same thing. First one is called summary of sales. So let us click the first visual and see what is the data that has been chosen. So this is what I have created. Let me recreate this visual. So here the data is different. I can create even more better visuals based on the data. I have category, sales and segment that I have used for a table view. Let me do the same thing. Category, sales and segment. Category, segment and sales. Hierarchy. Wait for the data to get loaded. So here I can adjust. Just drag it and drop it. So now I have it in a particular order. Adjust the sizing. Next is I've chosen quantity and subcategory and I've created a bar chart. It is a clustered column chart. Let me do the same thing here. I have the quantity and subcategory. I have the quantity and subcategory selected. Wait for it to get loaded. There's a lot of data, that's why. So when the volume of data is more, it can be a little slow the first time you create a visual. Okay. It is still loading. I have multiple files open, that's why it's getting slow. So let me close this. I've saved it, so whenever needed, I can open it again. Let it get closed. Save. Okay, so now I have only two visuals open. So whenever it's very common for Power BI to get slower, it's not as flexible as W. So when you work on a little huge data or visuals, multiple instances of Power BI, it will get slow. So make sure maximum you have two instances open, and whenever it hangs or gets slow, you can do something like this. Okay. Now, check if the speed is better, any better than how it was before. Just give it a minute, it's hanging. I think I have to reopen this. It is hanging very badly. Close. Yeah, it's coming. Okay, so it's back. Let me cancel this. Oh, it's pretty much okay. Delete it. So here I've chosen quantity and subcategory. Do you see the speed? So that's how. You'll have to just adjust and work on when it hangs or creates some problem. So now, do you see the speed at which it is creating the visuals? It is much, much better than how it was before. So you can extend this. Okay. So you can also change the details as per your need. So here you go to format, and in the x-axis you have all the details. So here you can adjust the appearance of it. So if you reduce the size, automatically the look and feel also changes. Okay. So this is the subcategory that I have. And let me sort in descending. You can sort however you want and you can practice. This is in ascending, this is in descending. Okay. So the look and feel of the charts can vary. This makes it look a little more okay. Next visual. Profit by category and segment. So you have profit, segment and category selected. So not just these visuals, you can choose visuals of your choice. So here I have selected category, profit and segment, and I've chosen a simple bar chart. So I have profit, category, segment selected. And it's a normal bar chart. Okay, so this is how it is. You can change the colors as per your need. So here the values are not getting displayed. So just go to format and make the necessary adjustments of the visual to see the correct formatting is done on the visual. Take the visual, go to format, on the expand it. Okay. And now I'm not so happy with the colors, so I want these colors to be chosen. So what I can do is check the colors. Bars are here. You can choose the colors that you would like to have. You can choose some lighter shades as well. Okay. Whatever is the color combination you want, you can choose that. Same look and feel. Next, this is a waterfall chart. We will try to replicate this. Here I have chosen profit and subcategory, and I've selected waterfall. It's very easy. Profit, subcategory, waterfall. You also have the sample Excel file. You can also please try these visuals all by yourself on Power BI. Now go to formats, switch on the labels. If you want to view grids, you can turn on or off the grids. Columns, color pattern is available here. If you want to change, you can change. Same look and feel is what I've created. Next is discount by subcategory, and I've chosen a funnel. Here I've made some manipulations. Let us see how to do it. Discount and subcategory. I select a funnel. Now I have some color variations here. How that is happening? I go to format, under give it a minute. Okay. So now first I have to see where this color is coming from. So it is here. So here in the colors, I have made some change. So let me see what is that change. So if you see, I have set a rule. So what is this rule? When the discount is greater than or equal to 75 and less than or equal to 150, this color. Greater than or equal to 40, less than or equal to 74, this color. Greater than or equal to 0, less than 39, this color. I have just created a rule. Okay, so let us click on FX. FX is for the formula. So here I'm going to choose discount, sum of discount. Okay, everything is the same. Next, lowest value is this color, highest value is okay. So you have to select rule and then set this rule. So let us do this with only one window. Select the rule, select the field, discount. Now create the rule. If it is greater than or equal to 75 and less than 150, then it should be a little dark blue. New rule. Greater than equal to 74, less than or equal to 30, 40. Medium blue. One more rule, greater than 39, sorry, greater than 0, it is greater than 40 and less than 74, okay? 0 to 39, it is this blue. If you think this should be a little lighter, yeah, click on OK. Now do you see, based on whatever is the color chosen, it is giving the result. Okay, the lighter shades are here. Can take a similar color. So that's what I've done here. I've chosen the color of my choice over here, 40 to 74, 0 to 39. Okay, and then not percentage, number. Okay, have you got it? It's all numbers, 40 to 74, and then 0 to 39. Light blue. Okay, you have a similar view. So if you want to make some changes with the color pattern, you can make the changes with rules. Same as the rules or conditional formatting in Excel, it is the same thing that you're doing here as well. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. So we are done with first set of visuals. Now we will create second set of visuals. So in the second set of visuals, we will work on donut charts, maps, gauge, scatter plot. This is a different kind of a chart. It's called Astor plot. This is a different way of representing data. And this is again a cylindrical gauge. So slowly we will do this. First is a donut. So in the donut, I have sales, region, and donut selected. That's all. Sales, region, and a donut. Okay. So there are some color patterns that I have changed and the look and feel that I have changed. So let us replicate this. First, format, legend, put it in the bottom center. Second, colors. Slices, here you have. So you can now set the colors. Whatever colors you choose to show, you can show that. the data differs. That's why you're seeing some changes in the visualization. So here I have 3 points, here I have 4 points. It depends on the data that I have uploaded, but the look and feel is all the same. Next is sales by state. Sales and state is what I select. I have the sales and I have the state, and let me select map. So here you have a map. First one is a normal map, second is a filled map. So this is a normal map. So I have a dot map here, which is this is what I've done. I've selected the standard map. Okay, same as Tableau, here also you have 2 different maps. You can adjust the sizing as per your need. Okay, and inside this you can zoom. You can also move like this. It's very easy to do it here. So here you don't have in United States, the data is in UK. Correct? Okay, you can expand and you can view. You can also change the color pattern of it. Select and then do it. Okay. Map settings, bubbles, color. You can set a different color so that it gets visible. Generally on blue, this kind of a color will look much better. Okay. Next is sales gauge meter. Select sales and create a gauge meter. That's all. Fit in correctly. Okay, wherever you want to fit that you can do. Map can be a little smaller as well, no problem. Then fit this correctly. Okay. Next is profit and sales by region. So here I'm using a different kind of chart altogether. So let me show you how to include that chart. So this is the Aster plot. So first let me go and add this chart from Get More Visuals. Check for Aster plot. If you don't find it here, just by navigating, you can type Aster. Yeah, you have it. Select it. This is how you add a new custom visual that is there in the Microsoft Power BI store. Click on, you can download a sample of how to use it. Click on add, I will show you how to use it. You can also download the sample and try by yourself. You'll get the message, the visual was successfully imported into this report. And now select the Astor plot. Okay, so here I have to choose profit, region, and sales. Profit, region, sales. Okay, click on format, labels, switch on the labels. Okay, so this is how the data is plotted. And you can also have a legend switched on for this. So once you have the legend, you put it at the bottom. Generally, we put the legend at the bottom center. Okay. Next is sales and quantity by product name. This is a scatter plot. Product name, quantity, and sales. Very easy. So at times this is also called a sunburst. In D3 visualization, we call this kind of a visualization as a sunburst. Now I will choose product name. It's all from one Excel sheet that I'm doing. I don't have multiple tables here. It's so easy. I have so much of data, very good data available, so I'm able to do this. Next is scatter plot. Click on the scatter chart. That's all. It comes up. And now you need to add the lines. So there are different kinds of lines that you can add. This is called a linear trend line. Here, trend line, set it on. And then you can also create, what line is this? A ratio line. So just see what line is included, and then you can add. So there are different ways in which you can include a line. So I've just included a trend line. If you want to include a median line, you can include. So median line can be quantity, or here it is, yeah, it's quantity, right? So this is a median line. You can also change the color of it, and you can show it is a median line. There are different statistical functions, like how I have explained to you in Tableau. You can use different kinds of lines that are available here in analysis part of it. So this is a nice, neat scatter plot. Next is a cylinder gauge. We don't have that. So click on these three dots and include the cylinder gauge. Just type cylinder, you will get it. Got it? Select this. Click on add. Select the profit. And make it a gauge. Okay, so it shows where it is. So if you just hover your mouse, it will show the value. When it fills, it becomes 1 billion, but now it is 3 point something. So that is the meaning of it. These are very simple cards. Okay, so here is the card. I can take sales. I can make this a card like this. Very easy to use. Got it? You can adjust the sizing of it. Go to format and then title. You have to change the sizing of this. Call out value. So reduce the size, decrease it, and you can change the color of the text, and you can also change the background. Okay. So this is for the sales text. You want to make it a little darker, you can make it a little darker. So now we have changed the text color and this color. We have also reduced the size. Next, you can change the background color. It's under FX. So you have it under visual and general, whichever you want, you can select. This is one such card that I have created. If sizing is still a problem, you can also type it. Okay, now adjust. It will be good. So this is how you can add a card. You can add a number of cards included. So far we have seen different kinds of bar charts, line charts, scatter plot, funnel, waterfall chart, pie chart, donut, tree map, card, gauge, maps, right? And we have also seen Asterplot and cylindrical gauge. There are some more visuals which we will do after we come back from the break. So today we will complete all the visuals. This is a very straightforward one. Okay, so this is very important. How you do, yeah, these two are equally important. We will do it after the break once we are back. Fine. So let me have this saved with today's date. Okay, I'm going on mute. Let's meet after the break. Now we will see how to do time series analysis. The concept of time series varies from one software to another software. What is your understanding about the term time series data? Time series data. What do you know about this? This visual is a hint for that. Okay, a time series data or a time series analysis is nothing but data that gets presented in different ways and across different time patterns. It can be yearly, quarterly, monthly, or daily. In this pattern that I have created, I have yearly data analysis and other smaller details that gets displayed. First, what I've done is I've selected sales and I've also selected the year and quarter. Okay, so let us do this step by step. Year, quarter, and sales. Yeah, sorry, by mistake, I clicked the Wi-Fi and it got disconnected. Can you all hear me now? Okay, so let me click this visual and also include the data labels. So you know how to, yeah. So instead of clicking the bottom option, I clicked on the Wi-Fi, it got disconnected. Okay. Next is so this is sales by year. Next, I want profit by quarter. In Power BI, there is an option you can drill down. Okay, so when you start the drill down, you can drill down at a quarterly level. You can also move back to the yearly level. So this is on and off. Okay. Next is profit by quarter. So this is profit that I've selected and this is the data. So let me do the same thing, profit, and this is the kind of data that I'm choosing. I want a line graph of this and let me put profit by quarter. Okay, so I want quarterly profit data to be represented here. Keep it smaller and legible. Also include the markers and labels. Next is sales by quarter. The concept is very easy. Okay, so when you do any kind of time series analysis, this is how you will be doing, be it any domain of data. Okay. This is on. Next is quantity by quarter. So select the quantity, select the quarter, change the chart type. Okay. If you want to slightly reduce the size, you can do that. This chart, let me add the marker and data label. Next is profit by month. So it's very easy. Select profit, select the month, select the time series. This is how it will be. Don't worry. When you have more data points, you better avoid dots. Okay. If you want to have dots, you can have dots, but reduce the size of it. And also have a visible color. On all the charts, you can in fact do that. When you have to make changes on multiple charts, select charts using control key, press the control key and make multiple selections. Okay. See, it is reflecting on all the charts together. Sales by month. Select sales and month. Select a line chart. Next is quantity by month. Okay. Adjust the sizing. So now we have this chart ready. So when you have sales by year, so when I select a particular year, so this is about 0.7 mm, means millions, 7 million, 7.65 million. So what is the profit by quarter in the year 2017? What is the sales by quarter in that year? What is the quantity by quarter in that year? What is the profit by month? Month-wise, what is the profit in that year? What is sales month-wise in that year? What is quantity month-wise in that year? This kind of time series analysis is very much needed in any kind of a domain, be it sales domain, be it promotions, marketing, campaign, any kind of domain, customer based domains or internal operations based domain, this is a kind of chart or the visual that they will look forward to. This entire thing is called time series analysis. Also here you have a text box. You can anytime include a text box and type a text in it. Say time series analysis. Okay. So over here, so you take it and you put it here. What's going behind the chart? I want to bring it to the front. Okay, this is how you can do it and put it in an appropriate place. Here it is already full, so I don't know where to dump this. Any questions? Next. Here is another type of chart. So this is sales by quantity and by subcategory. So you have sales, quantity, subcategory, and date, year also selected, right? So let me create this visual. You have quantity, sales, and subcategory. Quantity, sales, subcategory. Okay, so what is the kind of chart that is selected here? Here, this is the chart. This is how it looks like. Here you have sales and quantity displayed together. Okay, so you see here, as you increase the height, you will see the variation. Both sales and quantity are getting displayed in the same chart. You see here, the dark blue gives you quantity, this gives you sales. So this is called a stacked column chart. It gets stacked one above the other. Okay. Next is sales and region. So let me select sales. Let me select, this is just my thought process. You can have it and however you want. So here I'm going to have a area chart, stacked area chart. Okay, same as Tableau. Select the data, click the chart. for markers. You can also change the markers. Okay. Set it to black. Fine. Next you have a visual here, which is a multi-card. I have shown you one card, right? Just one valued card. Here you have multi-row card. So what am I displaying here? Sales, profit, quantity, and discount. So let me select sales, profit, quantity, and discount. Okay, I put it on a multi-card. So here is a pie chart. In this pie chart, I've selected the return count of returned by category. I have selected category, and this return comes from a different table altogether. Okay, so it's from a different tab. So this is returned. Actually, it's not named. And then I want the category as well. So whenever you get some error, this is how you can manage. There is some problem with the data that I have imported. That's why it's not giving me the result. So this is incorrect. Delete from the model and redo it. Now back to the data model. I have to include that sheet once again. Go to the data model part. It should have only one sheet. Yeah. So there's one sheet of Excel. Now let me include one more sheet and get it correctly this time. Last time there was some problem. So wait for the data to load. Only when it will display the sheets. Okay, so once it is displayed, click on the sheet, and here, see, this is the problem. Here I have to transform data. Now it will open in Power Query. Make sure to choose the heading, first row as the heading, and then load the data. Then it will be correct. Otherwise, it will be a problem. So you have to be careful when you load the data. So here I will say use header as first row. No. Use first row as header. No, even that is not working fine. So there is problem with the data. So let me bring it to this form, and then this needs to be number of rows to remove 1. So I want to remove, now you see. Okay, so there was an additional row with column 1, column 2, which is incorrect. Within Power BI, I have removed that using Power Query. I've edited it, and now I make let me check what is happening in Excel. There's some problem with the Excel file. That's why it's not letting me do. So let me go to data sources, get to the Excel file that you've used. Yeah, here. Open it and check what is happening from within the Excel file. Give it a few minutes. Okay, go to the returns tab. This is correct. Only thing is here you have data filtered. So remove the filter and save it. Back to my data. So this is how you have to make some changes, if at all you got to do it. Import. transform. Okay. So let me order ID and returned. That's what it is. So these, you will also encounter this kind of a problem. Okay, so at that time, you will have to do such adjustments. You'll have to rename. Check where is, yeah, here is rename. Now do order ID. You have to bring it to a form that it can get related in the data model. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay. So column is returned. Now it is correct. So once this is done, close and apply. That's all. Apply changes, wait for the sheet to get loaded. You will also encounter this when you have data coming in from multiple data sources. Okay. Now link order ID and order ID. Drag and drop is also okay. That will also work. Click on OK. Done. Okay, now let's go to the visual. Now you should be able to see your improvised data. Whatever, now you understand the importance of model. If something is wrong there, nothing can be done here. No use. So the base is the data model. Now let me create count of returned versus category. Okay. Let's want a pie chart. So this is legend is the category. So make changes. Value is count of returned. So now you have the data. So you can make changes as per your need. Here I need count. Okay, so that's what is happening. I want the legend at the bottom. Okay. Next is count of returned by segment. So only difference is observe again, returned segment. And I use a pie chart. Segment, and this becomes count of returned. Again, formatted as per the need. Okay. This is count of returned and this is this. Now when I make a selection, automatically it will get filtered everywhere. I can filter wherever I want. See this? Line chart, you have to click on the marker to filter. Marker is the main area where you will filter and see. So after filtering here, you can also filter one more. That is also allowed. Okay. Hold the control key, click. So this is multiple filtering. Again, hold the control key, click. Hold the control key, click. Multiple filtering. Then go click on something and release the filter. All the filter gets released at once. You click on any one of the filters. Okay, so this is another way of creating a visual. These are very important visuals, standard visuals. So we have seen most of the visuals. Now a simple ribbon chart, sales, region, ribbon chart. Okay, let us also have the year. Okay. This is a nice visual. So this is a visual chart against bigger volume of data. You can also check on smaller. If it's smaller volume, you won't see the type. You want to see the type of it, then you need some bigger volume like this. Let me redo this. Sales, product name, ribbon. Oh, that's that one. It's not displaying. Okay, that's how you can try a simple ribbon chart. We don't use it much. Slicer is very important. Let's go through product name, category, sales, quantity, and sales. Okay, so this is the data I have. Now, slicers is like filters in Tableau. You have two kinds of filters. One is a slicer based filter. So first let me add outside, and I need a slicer. I need slicer of category. So I select category and I create a slicer of it. Now, when I select furniture, only furniture gets selected. Okay, so this is one of the slicers. Slicer is used for slicing data. So if you can use it as a list or a drop down, and I'm making it a drop down. Okay. Here you don't have multi-selection, single selection like Tableau. Holding click key is multiple, or holding shift, mainly click key. Sorry, mainly control key and then click. Okay. Hold the control key and select multiple values, or if you want single values, select it as it is. You can have multiple filters. So I can choose segment and I can make it a slicer. Okay. Here you have segments. Supposing I choose furniture, I have a segment here. I select the segment. So within furniture, what are the different options? Selecting one holds the filters. Selecting the same selected slicer removes the filter. Same thing here. So you can have n number of slicers as per your need. Very, very important. Slicer is very important. How different is this from a filter? Now, let me take product name and let me include the category of this. Okay. To this, let me also add a filter. The filter here is a category. Filter this page. Filter all pages means when you select this filter, all the pages will get affected or filtered. Filter will look like this. Here you can do a select all. You have basic filtering and advanced filtering. Advanced filtering, you have text options. You can use basic filtering for now. Here you have multiple choices. Same as slicers, but this will be in the filter pane. That's the main difference. Okay, so we have covered all the options. R is for R programming. This is for Python scripting. You can ignore those. Those are not very critical for you now. The rest of these are not much used. It's not applicable for you. So these many visualizations which I've taught you, these are very, very critical. There are some custom visuals we will try tomorrow, but almost all the visuals that are called standard visuals of Power BI have been taught to you. Tomorrow we will mainly work on Power BI Cloud. Okay. Any questions for me, please? Hope you have understood the visualization part of Power BI, which is critical and which you may use around 10 visuals, 10 to 12 visuals. A minimum of 10 is what I expect when you work on assignment. Tableau Power BI, 10 to 15 you can easily try. Tableau you can try more combinations. Did you all understand the visualization technique in Power BI? Are you finding it easy? Or do you have any questions or any doubts, any comparisons you want to do? See it as two different softwares. If you start comparing, you'll get confused and you can't judge. You can't say, you're bad because you're free, you're good because you're paid. You can't do that. Okay. Oh, that's nice, Osama. It depends. Each one's view of the tool differs. So you should also try other tools after getting thorough with these, otherwise you'll get confused. Cool. Okay. So let's take a break for today. We'll close the session now, another few minutes, and we will meet tomorrow to see Power BI Cloud in detail. Excel-based Power BI, and closure of the BI program, following which you will have a project discussion with me. The day when the project discussion will be initiated along with the project topics, which will be shared prior handed to you by Abhishek or Arun. It will take a while. They will contact you in that regard. But tomorrow will be the last session. Please do attend, telling this to all. So after the session, we can bid adieu. And yeah. Anyways, I'll be available on WhatsApp for you all after tomorrow's session. So come up with all the questions that you have, if there's any, and no, individual project will be there. Each one of you should work on a different project and submit it to me for evaluation. Okay. Thank you, friends. Let's meet in tomorrow's session, and most welcome. Let's bring the BI course to an end. Tomorrow you will learn Power BI and Excel, which is very much important. I will also talk about perspective and cubes. Let's see some more concepts tomorrow, and we'll close it. Thank you all. You have a good night. Let's meet tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you all. Good night.